Paperback writer, writer, writer. It kicks off into this great rock tune. I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York, and where I lived for 22 years. And as I joked with Josh, apparently it wasn't cold enough, so I moved to Alaska when I was 22. Three friends and I decided to go as far as we could from Buffalo, and the road gave out in Alaska a long time. Most of what I do is freelance teaching, you might call it. Okay. Guitar lessons, mandolin, ukulele. I do stringed instrument lessons. And I also teach at a college down in Florida. So basically what I do is I piecemeal together jobs wherever I might be, so that I can pay the bills and still get around. I spend part of the year in Alaska, part of the year in Naples, lately in Florida. One day, my boss, the department chair, said, would you consider teaching a history of jazz? And I said, how about a history of rock and roll? I know that way more than I know jazz. And I came into that classroom foaming at the mouth. Jazz is amazing, you're not gonna believe this stuff. And I think most of the students went, calm down. But we had a lot of fun. So my first love is really music. I was obsessed with it. I have a brother who's a year younger. When he turned 18, my parents gave him a guitar. He never asked, never wanted it, couldn't be bothered. He gets a guitar, I got nothing. Like any brother would, I stole it from him. After a couple of months, I was like, you don't really play this, do you? Mind if I play it? So I started teaching myself how to play. And anyway, when I was going to go to college, I did go for 1 year at Oswego in New York. So my little ignorant self as a senior in high school applied to go into the music department at Oswego. So I get a form letter back from them. Yes, we'd love to have you in the music department. Just send us a recital tape. And I called up the lady whose name was at the bottom. I said, what's a recital? She said, what? I said, well, I applied to your department and you sent me this letter. And she said, well, yeah, a tape of your last recital. What do you play? Or are you a singer? I said, no, I don't sing and I don't play. And she just burst out laughing. She said, well, what are you talking about then? And I said, I want to learn music. That's what I'm talking about. She laughed so hard. She said, honey, no, you don't go to college to learn music. You have to have 10 or 15 or 20 years of lessons before you can come here. I said, then what are you teaching people if they already know it? So I was stuck. So I had to teach myself to play guitar, and that's kind of how I learned. In fact, one of the guys that I went to school with, his name's Mark Stewart, just in case you're watching this, Mark. He and I used to drive around. He's about 10 years younger than I am. And I was raised on rock and roll. He was raised on funk music. But he was also raised playing piano, cello, and guitar, and learning to read. Actually, I should not leave this part out. He quit graduate school. And he quit because he felt that the whole classical music thing in universities in the U.S. was all about competition. And he told me that he was told by many a teacher, your job is to unseat Yo-Yo Ma. That's your job. If you can't play better than Yo-Yo Ma, don't bother. So Mark just decided this ain't for me. Music is not about beating each other up and competing. Music is about community. And so he quit. And now He's in Paul Simon's band,
Whoa.
and of Simon and Garfunkel, which you guys may or may not know. And he's been asked to play by James Taylor, Paul McCartney, all these big shots. There's a phrase that I should share with you guys. There's a great deceased philosopher, I guess you could say, named Joseph Campbell. I don't know if you've heard of him. And he has a phrase that he says, "You will live a beautiful life if you follow your bliss." And for Joseph Campbell, there is something inside each of us that he describes as bliss. I don't know if you know that word, but it basically means unspeakable happiness. And for Joseph Campbell, he believes that inside us all is a little voice that tells us this is how you will attain your bliss. Some people call it Atman or Nirvana or heaven or happiness or whatever you want to call it. Joseph Campbell calls it following your bliss. Mark Stewart followed his bliss. And I take lessons from people like Mark, and I take lessons from Joseph Campbell, and I do the best I can to follow my bliss, which is why I don't have a 9-to-5 job, because none of the ones that I ever had were sources of bliss for me. And it's why I love to teach and why I love to play music. So I don't have guaranteed secure income. But that never meant as much to me as the other things that life has to offer.
Bless my mind, I miss